So have you done some
Start over.
startup tests?
Okay, if you don't, oh, okay,
I'll
so
let him start over.
Let him start
All
over,
right.
please. And
Sure. The transformer has been delivered to NYSEG. They have not installed it. That should be installed early next week. The generator was shipped yesterday. That doesn't have a tracking number yet, but also should be here next week. And then there was a question about the amount of power in the greater Eagle Drive area. NYSEG got back to me and they have a little over of 1 megawatt of capacity left on their circuit per their last analysis. We haven't done any startup testing because we need to get that power connected from NYSEG.
What's the projection on that?
It should be the transformer they're installing it next week. So within the next 2 weeks, we should have that powered up from Highlander. So we're getting closer.
What's it gonna take to put the generator up and get it running?
The generator shouldn't be too much. That should be as soon as, if they get it here next week, it should be within the 2 weeks after that. So I'm thinking first week of August, we should have everything powered up and the generator all ready to go. So then we could do some soft starts tests, and then as long as those work properly, we should be able to let that system run.
There aren't any punch list items right now, are there?
Nope.
So it's projected completion date then right now, middle of August?
I'd say middle of August. Yep.
Oh.
Assuming NYSEG follows through on their end and gets things connected within the next 2 weeks. Yep.
Oh, well, that's good news, Steve. Carl from the Cayuga County Water and Sewer Authority. That's good news. Sounds like things are concluding fairly well.
Yep. The power's taking a little longer than I think we've all would have liked, but the transformer was a big holdup. So now that they have it, they just got to get it up and wired.
Another board member, treasurer.
The restoration work is pretty much complete. Is there some blacktopping yet to be done around the pump station?
I haven't been out there in a while. I know that they were going to blacktop the road as part of the parking lot project. I don't know if you guys have seen it lately.
Okay. So we still may have some punch list items to, oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, the big to do is power, and
Yeah.
Oh,
Nobody knows what to look at.
Yeah,
I know he was speaking.
Who's speaking?
Steve, he was giving
Yep.
us the update. I think when you plug that in, seems like we lost
oh,
audio.
maybe that's what happened, yeah.
Well, here,
Thank you,
unplug it. It's
Mhm. thank you.
yeah, you guys still hear me now?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
It's over all this and need to update.
any other questions for Steve?
Yes.
Nothing was recorded.
Oh, yeah, yes. it is
This is
recorded.
recording?
Yes.
Yep. Okay.
You think we can't function without you, huh?
No.
And that's half true.
You got me there.
Thank you. Okay, we did the minutes.
Thank you, Steve.
Okay.
Thank you. Yep.
Those communications.
Take your time.
Those communications.
That's you, Tracy.
I don't want it. Do you want it?
Thank you.
Yes, bills and communications. So we have the NYSEG invoice. the executive director of services invoice, the MRB administrative services invoice, your Microsoft Office, QuickBooks. We are very close to being able to eliminate one of the two QuickBooks charges and to remove the tax from those charges. So soon you'll only be seeing one of those, instead of two. There's also an invoice for your New York State Economic Development Council annual membership. A reimbursement for Katie Moran. I don't know, Michael, you want to speak to this one?
Sure, if you recall from earlier this year, the tax payments were late and Tracy took it upon herself to pay those late fees and
On herself.
to pay those, so we're reimbursing her for that after we were doing some reconciliation of our own. And
Wait a minute, she personally paid them?
she did. So as Tracy and I were reconciling some different areas, we came upon that and asked town of Aurelius to send us proof of payment, and that's when we confirmed Katie had paid that herself, so.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, she's not.
Well, we were pretty specific that she was not to do that. Yeah. You know,
Rick, where are you?
I'm right here.
motion to pay the bill. Are you to the bill?
And then one more is there's just for a correspondence with the village for a letter from the village board.
Which I had shared with everyone over the last month here, so. It's just a hard copy for you as necessary.
Is there a second?
A second.
Questions? All in favor? Opposed? Carried. Updates.
Okay, everyone has my written update, but as usual, I have some additional information to share with the board here. So the town Board of Supervisors meeting is going to be in November for myself to attend and present. Welcome anyone else who is interested in attending there. Exact date is not quite yet set, but it will be in Auburn, as I've been told. The Econ Dev meeting for CCDC, ourselves and Ada is set for August 1st, 4 p.m. The meeting will be at Auburn City Hall on the third floor. We're expecting an agenda from Steve Lynch over the next week that I will share with everyone there. On Monday, I presented to the Cayuga County Planning Committee and can weigh in as whether or not that was well received or otherwise. I have reached out to Dr. Hartwell over at BOCES, and I'll be speaking with Dr. Durant from CCC next week as we discussed over the last couple of months of targeting some money from solar companies as a mitigation payment for labor there. So just starting to have some discussions with those two institutions there, of what that might look like, depending on funding for it itself. Follow up from last meeting, have been in correspondence with Finger Lakes Rail. Within your packet is the conceptual outline of what a potential siding may look like. I think more of that can be better discussed in executive session itself, but as necessary, please review. They've also provided a high level estimate for what that would cost for installation. We have received an additional solar application. It'll likely be ready for the board to consider for an initial resolution next month itself. Speaking of solar, I did have a discussion with Ray along with Justin. I think you as well, Rick, were copied on that. From Lewis County, they have a policy that encourages development on less prime ag land, and they have an incentive schedule to do so. So I'll be in touch with Water and Soil to see how we might be able to incorporate that into our own UTEP for the board's consideration here. Yes.
Copy of that policy.
I do, and I can send it to you. Yep. forward. And that's about it from my end here. Happy to answer any questions though.
The letter from the village, so planning, we need to do this support them.
I mean, just as recent as last week, Mayor Norman called me up to once again say, what is the IDA's position and support, for us here? And I said, it's clear from the board that we'll do anything we can to help you right now. And it's still quite vague as it's still in the hands of the AG, and it probably will be for some time.
I don't have a question, but I have a comment regarding the the extra funding that might come from the solar. Just for a bit of information, the Cayuga County's work development department, they don't really get funding from the county. But they have already received word that they're gonna get less federal funding this next year. So, that might be also an alternative if we do receive money from them solar companies.
Okay.
What I could do is probably find out how much they're gonna be short, so if we have a discussion, we have some information.
You want me to just call Kelly King directly?
Sure.
Okay,
We would love that.
I can do that.
Questions? Budget update. I reported. Treasurer. Where would Doug's house be compared to that?
Ray, I'm so sorry.
Oh, way over there.
Oh, Ray, I'm so sorry. A little bit behind. I wanted to ask Ben, his take on, Mike's presentation to the legislature. I missed it. I'm sorry. I was caught up with work that I just couldn't get away, but
That's all right.
How was it?
By a massive storm.
yeah.
It was very thorough. I mean, I don't think there was any questions, correct?
I think the only question came from Elaine Daly related to what's your communication with the city of Auburn?
Oh, that's right. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
IDA. And honestly, that was probably, she's on the hospital board. So she truly appreciates what the Cayuga County IDA did. But,
Auburn IDA had the opportunity first.
oh, everybody knows.
Mm.
Just, I make that
And
on the record.
and I think we pointed that out, not that we didn't disgrace Auburn, but we made it clear that we were the ones that, Cayuga County IDA is the one that supported it and might not have it if we didn't.
Oh, we did a great project for the community.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Vice Chair. Well, that's good to hear.
Treasurer.
They appreciate us and they know what we're doing, so very good. Thank you.
Question?
Okay, so in June, you did receive one gas lease payment for about $30. And interest from your financial holdings of about $3,700. That was over income in June. The expenses are all of the things that we talked about earlier on the bills. As far as how you're doing in terms of your budget, you are a little under budget on you're under budget on your expenses, but also on your income. There's $110,000 or $101,000 as direct public support in the budget, so that's the main piece of that. That you're under, and then on the balance sheet, still have a pretty healthy balance in your bank accounts, but I believe that there's some moving around of funds that needs to happen. A lot of things have been cleaned up in terms of the pilots and like the government, so I think the books are getting into a good time.
What do we mean by public support?
I don't know what that was. budget, the public support.
If you recall from, our budget process last year, at the time, we were considering, the board was considering assuming countywide economic development, and the idea was to put the public fund support from the county into that line.
And the pilots. So would it be fair to say now? Pilots are all cleaned up.
We just had one check to cut.
One,
We're good. Because we actually overpaid earliest. There's some, a payment that
It
we
was-
really thought it would be in the books. So they returned that check and we just.
Okay, so the January pilots would be all set. Now we're going into our pilots.
Yeah, in September, we'll do a set of, are there any village ones that we need to do in July at this point?
Mhm.
So, in September, October, we'll do the school district ones. And then in January, we'll do.
Okay, but you'll like to feel that.
that's,
We're good.
We've got a handle.
we spent a lot of time going through that.
Thank you. By the way, thank you
Now,
for
Jen.
doing all that.
I can't find my way around the school, but I can find
No,
out.
don't feel bad.
Up to two,
We come to the total construction. Motion to approve the treasurer's report. So moved.
Second.
Discussion. Further question. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, we did a sewer line update. Carol, you wanna? You can,
No, I'm in good shape. Steve, you have a good report. Just a quick update for, in case someone missed it. Is Steve still on or is he?
I think he will.
He's still here, still
He's
here.
still there.
Well, I'll let him give his report then. I
did.
feel his thunder.
Oh, yep. NICEAG, has the transformer and plans to install next week. So we can get that, connection. Hopefully the week after that. The generator was shipped yesterday. There's no tracking number, but, plans to be delivered next week as well.
Where's it coming from, Steve?
I don't know, actually. But,
Is that normal though? They give you the notification that it's shipped and they don't have the tracking
Well,
information?
We
Is
we
that-
were speaking with Mark last year, and I think that's when he was telling us it wasn't gonna be until August.
That's what he just said too.
Yeah. So,
well, yeah, the transformers or the generator should be here, yeah, within the next week. So it bumped up a little bit from August.
Will be in now, pushed out again.
But yeah, that should be connected, assuming shipping and delivery stay on track.
Julian Hall's-
Steve, I don't know if you heard, is it normal that they will give you a notification that it's shipped and they don't give you the particulars to say, hey, it's shipped from China and here is the tracking number or any of that sort? They just say, we shipped it, take our word for it. It's gonna be there next week.
It's kind of weird.
Well,
Really?
yeah, I'm getting my information from the contractor, so.
Before COVID, yes, now
Wow. Okay.
If anything goes.
Yep,
things are getting better. We've been able to get parts a lot better than we had been within the last year.
Right.
still not great though.
I recall, we're still on track, so they're not in danger right now. On the penalty front. Steve, we're still on track for full completion over this next month, right?
Yes, and I believe we had the extension till October.
Yeah, did you recall? I don't ever had that requested extension as well earlier this year.
All right, so we should be in good shape.
That's my feeling.
Yeah. Yep, as long as NICEAG can get that transformer that they now have, installed.
How have conversations with NICEAG been going?
Difficult, but, we're getting there. As far as NICEAG and their power capacity in that area, their last analysis, they have approximately 1 megawatt of power left on the circuit.
Hey. You have updates of what you're doing?
No, not this time.
If I could ask, Carl, I know water and sewer is going through renegotiations with the city of Auburn. How are those going? if you don't mind
Good,
asking?
very good, actually.
Okay,
And there's two conversations being held right now. One, we're having two meetings. One is our water contract negotiation with the city. And there's a separate I shouldn't say negotiation, a separate conversation being held about more of a regional outlook moving forward.
okay,
That really has, we've got a good group of people together. They're all very cooperative. That seems to have pretty good legs right now.
okay.
You know, is anything 5 years out from now? I don't know. But today, everyone's willing to speak. Steve, I got one question for you. The contractor's warranty, 1 year or 2 years?
I'll have to look into that.
Okay, thank you. If you could get that for me, please.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
We'll be probably over this next month, really starting to get much more into factors, part of the dedication agreement here. So if you and Rick are able to make yourselves available, speak with Justin and I to go through those items.
Sure.
Okay. Does that work for you, Rick? Sorry?
He's working.
Yes, it does. Sorry, I thought it was muted. And Doug Selby's, working with the city to get a signed, agreement. It's already been approved, but nobody seems to have it, where the Cayuga County Water and Sewer Authority was added to the, multi-jurisdictional intermunicipal agreement for sewer services. So the authority needs that in hand, so I can present that to Justin and this board, you know, before the authority can have the ownership of the sanitary sewer line. But Doug is working on that with the city clerk. But it has been approved last year, but no one seems to have a signature. So is that right, Carl? I mean,
Yes,
Yeah.
it's a great mystery. Everybody's got 2 pages signed with them in another town, but no one has a complete document, including the city. But it's okay. We're gonna get through it.
Okay, questions? Commercial broker updates.
So this is the same item that's been on for a good couple months here. From last month, this item was tabled.
Are we putting it on the table again?
What do people want to do?
Well, I think we've got this other proposal to look at. Maybe we should just keep tabling that proposal until we get our head around what we want to do with this rail site.
That, let's have the big meeting with everybody.
Yeah.
Okay. I will mention that Mr. Estelle contacted me just again this morning. They had a fortunate death in the family.
Oh,
So
Big night.
Yeah.
yeah, and it's been difficult speaking with Mr. Estelle. It's been once a month. He'll get a hold of me, and either between death in the family or work. Slow moving process, with still interested in working with the IDA for that project. So not off the table yet.
New business.
Okay.
can we do one of these already?
You did.
I know, I feel the same way.
You did.
Okay.
So if you recall from earlier this year, the governance committee met, and one of their recommendations is rather than waiting until the very end of the year to go through this, is just to do a mid-year check-in. This is why it's in the packet here. So if there's any room for improvement between the board or anything else, this provides an opportunity for the board to say, okay, still have the rest of the year to address some of these concerns here.
So really, we probably don't need to fill it out, just a good checkpoint for us to look through and see if we've got any concerns.
That's more or less what I recollect from the governance committee.
I think so.
We wanted to, you know, make it more of a point that we do get feedback from the board. So I think with it being in the packet, I don't know if we'd be comfortable just if we have something that we think we'd want to share, we'd hand it in now, or if we make the, you know, we agree to just by the next meeting, have it, bring it back to Mike. Yeah, no.
Yeah, so I think maybe if everybody reviewed it.
Yeah.
And then at the next meeting, if there's any negative comments,
Just
'Cause-
negative?
Well, I know, because the concern was,
Why why just negative?
that's your opportunity to improve.
yeah, but also too, if we know what is working, what's going right, then we know we want to stay the course on it. So all feedback. And I feel like the feedback I received, we had heard and discussed was not everybody completes it. So we really would like, you know, just probably more participation or engagement from the board members on that. Members served.
I also feel like the whole section about the nominating committee and the October and November thing always just comes so quick.
Mhm.
Like, we're never prepared for that. So it's almost like we need to start talking about it like
Earlier, right?
August or September, so that it's on our radar, because it's like all of a sudden in one meeting, we're there, so.
No, that was tough, like. In
Excuse me?
December, we're
Yeah,
trying to figure out where
well,
we're.
we're concentrated on some of the other things, but
Yeah,
I think
that's a
we need to
good point.
just change that where it's not so much of an October date, maybe it needs to be a little bit earlier.
Personally, the evaluation, I think, especially kind of a mid-year one, it'd be good just to have a discussion and actually have a discussion. Go through each item, and some items there won't be any discussion, but other items we'll have a little discussion. And I mean, it makes everybody aware of what people are thinking.
Yes. And I think we could go through it pretty quick.
Right. I don't want to go for 2 hours, but 20 minutes.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea.
So would you like me to add that to the agenda for next month?
I think it
Yeah.
would be a good.
Yeah, okay, let's do it that way.
And then there's a good point about the nominating committee. We should probably kick that off maybe September or something.
Well, just so these start talking about it, and discussing it, and so that by the time,
Well, we can name a nominating committee and they can meet.
Yeah,
yeah, that's true.
We'll do that next month.
Got that circled as well. Okay.
yeah,
We'll form the committee and the committee can meet.
but I absolutely agree. with that.
Oh, yeah.
It's having
Right to the end and then it's chaos.
it's awkward.
Maybe not quite as much. this year.
Yeah, less.
Shit show.
Mhm.
You got anything to vote on? If not, I'll cut out.
I don't think so at this time, other than
You and I, John, will-
consideration of small property. What board would like to do from there, so I'm not sure if that necessarily requires a vote or not, but. That's it there.
All right.
So we want to go to accept.
Good,
They're ready to go into executive session. I'll go. Second.
reason being,
Acquisition of property.
all right, going into executive.
Can you
Thanks,
find your
Steve.
way out?
Thanks, guys.
Breadcrumbs.
Ray's gonna